In order to obtain his wife's $10 billion fortune, the man tied her up with vines and left her on a deserted island, then sailed away. However, his wife wasn't panicked. She untied herself and took all the usable tools with her. It turned out that she had tampered with the boat beforehand. As the boat drifted further away, the rope tied to a rock grew tighter, and the speedboat instantly shattered into pieces. But the man didn't die. His wife, a former archer, made a simple bow and arrow using branches and vines, preparing to give him a surprise. The man climbed ashore and searched for his wife, only to wander into a cave. Suddenly, he heard shouting and discovered a group of natives. Curious, he turned around and saw hanging skulls, realizing that these natives were cannibals. Terrified, he ran back into the woods, where he saw his wife. Before he could speak, she shot an arrow that lodged into a tree beside him. She drew her bow again, and the arrow flew toward him. The man quickly hid behind a tree, and as his wife stepped on a rock to leap and deliver a fatal shot, he grabbed a nearby stick to block it, narrowly avoiding death. By the time his wife caught up, he had disappeared deep into the forest. The next day, the man sneaked up behind his wife with a stick and swung it at her head. As he moved closer to check on her, he triggered a trap and was left hanging upside down in the air. His screams woke his wife, but just then, footsteps approached. She threw the stick aside and ran. When the man looked up, he saw the cannibals charging at him. In a panic, he flailed his arms and legs, swinging onto a vine and narrowly escaping danger. Meanwhile, his wife was being chased by the cannibals, eventually stumbling into their lair. Just as she was about to be surrounded, a large hand reached out from a cave and pulled her inside. She discovered it was her husband. Their conflict ended there, and they decided to escape together. However, before they could get far, they were hit by the cannibals' tranquilizer darts. The chief, however, didn't plan to eat them. The wife was tied to a stake, ready to be burned as an offering to the fire god, while the husband was thrown into a canoe to be sacrificed to the water god. Soon, the canoe drifted toward a waterfall. The man used all his strength to cling to a rock and managed to escape. Disguising himself as a cannibal, he sneaked into their group and, seizing the moment, rushed forward to knock the chief down. He kicked away the fire surrounding the stake, grabbed his wife, and ran. The two jumped off a cliff into the water below. The man pulled his wife onto the beach, found a canoe, and successfully escaped the